Yo, what up with it? It's your boy Hoodie. Welcome back to the channel. And I've been hearing a whole lot about this game all over Twitter. People been calling it the game of the year, the game of the generation, and the game ain't even dropped yet. You heard me? All I really know about this game is that it's a space exploration game. It's supposed to have over like 1,000 planets. I know they've been working on this game for like the past 20 years or something like that. That's what I've been hearing. That's what I've been reading. I saw some clips and things like that last year. I know this game got pushed back a little bit. I wasn't too impressed with the shooting last year. I believe this is something that they wanted to make before Skyrim, but at the time, the technology just wasn't there yet. So without further ado, let's see what all the hype is about.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us today and welcome to Bethesda Game Studios. You know, we've been so lucky over the decades to make the kind of games that we love here, and that's thanks to all of you. From the Elder Scrolls to Fallout, we love creating these worlds and playing in them just as much as you do. And throughout all that time, we'd often talk about and dream up the space game. What if we could take that feeling of being who you want to be and exploring a new world, but set it in space, where you weren't really limited in where you could go or what you could do. And that is Starfield. Obviously, we've come a long way since then with the games we've built, our technology, and all of us here in the studio. We've done so much together, but well, we've never tried to make a game like this. Today, you'll get to hear from many on the team and see so much of what we think makes our game special. So let's jump in and take a look. Starfield is our first new universe in over 25 years. But it's still a Bethesda RPG through and through, where you step into a new world and you get that feeling of unlimited possibilities. But this time, it's not just one world. It's over 1,000 worlds. Because the choice of where to go, it's not ours, it's yours. And it wasn't until now that we had the technology to create it. From the rocks
Yeah,
at your
like I was
feet,
saying, I
to
know
the
that
mountains in
they've
the
been
distance,
wanting to make this game
to
for
the
a while
people
now.
and creatures that live in these worlds. That isn't just a backdrop.
Nah, that's
that moon is
crazy.
actually there orbiting the planet. Yes, you can visit it too.
That's
We
wild.
realistically simulate the galaxy around you. Our next-generation lighting model uses real-time global illumination to light the world based on the type of star and the makeup of the planet's atmosphere. We also have an all-new animation system. And of course,
If this is like Skyrim in space, like everyone has been saying about this game, you know, I'm definitely here for it. That would be the perfect space game to have this level of exploration, along with the type of side quest that Bethesda likes to create, and the hours and hours of content that you can just dive into. If this is the type of game that'll allow you to roam wherever you want and random things will happen and you'll find yourself on new side quests for hours and didn't even realize it, that could be the making of a really great game.
you can play it in third person, and you can play it in first person. We love exploration and rewarding it, but you do explore differently in this game given its scale. That usually involves exploring an area you've landed in. You can collect resources,
So it does remind me a lot of No Man's Sky.
do a mission, and maybe even stumble upon something unexpected.
So this does remind me a lot of No Man's Sky, and I hear a lot of people who like No Man's Sky say that they wish that an actual AAA developer would create a fully fleshed out version of that. You know what I'm saying? So I think that this is the game that a lot of people have been waiting on. I know myself included. I enjoy No Man's Sky. I think it's cool, but it's definitely lacking a lot of you know, AAA quality. See, already I noticed the shooting is a lot tighter than what it was last year. For sure, like leaps and bounds ahead. I like the flow. That reminds me a lot of Destiny. That's fire. Oh yeah, that's fire. I like that.
We do love stuff and all of the items allowing you to pick everything up. And you can view all that in...
See, already I noticed that the shooting here is way better than it was last year when they first showed gameplay of this game.
your data menu. This is the hub for everything you're doing, from your skills to your ship, your missions, and your inventory. We love to pack a ton of detail in every object, from all of your weapons to spacesuits to food. We
Look
just
at the
obsess over the
detail.
details, and food. We obsess over food.
That's fire.
When you're done exploring, you can walk back or fast travel to your ship. We have companions and crew you can take with you. I left Vasco here back at my ship,
Welcome back, Captain Howard.
and he can even say your name. Let's head out.
Our mission was to convey the wonder and majesty of space exploration, to evoke the romance of the golden age of early spaceflight. And we've been referring to this approach as NASA Punk. This means a design language where the tech is advanced, yet still looks grounded and relatable.
For us, it's that contrast.
I
That's
get
where the
that.
visual interest is. Obviously, the NASA, which is the rigid, hard function over style, and then Punk, which is all about style.
You can see that visual style coming through in your ship. Your ship is your home for you and your crew. And like
Look at the detail. Look how far gaming has come since. Like, man, that's just crazy. That's crazy.
many of the spaces in our game, it has a slightly retro and analog touch, a bit of lo-fi rather than sci-fi, where everything is well used, worn, and lived in.
Alrighty. What's the plan, Captain?
This is your star map. It starts with the planet you're currently on. You can see all of its info and resources. You can choose a landing spot or fast travel to known locations. Backing out further, you can view all the planets in the system. Obviously, the game is big, and it's here you can
That's
see
what I'm
planets
saying.
that
Look
have
at
key
the
locations,
size. Look at
missions,
just
or
the
life on
sheer
them,
scope of this game.
versus the many planets that are barren
That's
but
amazing.
resource
I
heavy.
can't even lie. That's just amazing.
Zoom out even further to see all the systems in this part of the
That's
galaxy.
crazy.
Here, you can plot a course to ones that are light years away. This uses your ship's grav drive to fold space and jump to these systems. And you will need to upgrade your ship and skills if you want.
And yeah, No Man's Sky has this sort of system too. But most of the planets don't have a whole lot going on them. You know what I mean? You can fly and you can play for hours and you'll come across a couple Goldilocks planets here and there, but it's not a lot of story missions. There's not there's not random events. There's not side quests and all these different things that I'm sure Bethesda has jam-packed into this game. They've already stated that they've recorded more dialogue for this game than any other game they've ever made, and that I don't know, man, that's just kind of crazy.
To jump to the most distant ones. But for now, we'll plot a course to the Alpha Centauri system where we can find the city of New Atlantis.
That's cool.
Welcome to UC Space. Maintain your current course while we scan your ship's cargo. Scan complete. You are cleared for landing at New Atlantis.
As soon as you land in a city like New Atlantis, your eyes are guided upwards to just these boundless, vast buildings.
It's the
That's
biggest
fire.
city we've ever made, not just in size, but also in the amount of custom art, crowds, and quests.
Did y'all hear what she just said? That's the biggest city Bethesda has ever created. Out of all the Fallout games, out of all the Elder Scrolls games, this is the biggest city. Like, that's pretty cool. I can see why they couldn't create this game when they wanted to, and why it's possible now.
So the main focus when we're designing a city is obviously what supports the story. We try and tell as many small stories as possible.
This is a colony war memorial.
It's a few moments of gameplay that make the space feel like it's full of real characters that are going about their day-to-day lives.
It's paralyzing if you really stop and think about it.
Buddy, it's coffee.
It's also where your adventure with Constellation begins.
Welcome to Constellation. We have a lot to talk about.
By the time you meet them, Constellation is sort of seen as this mythical group. Most people don't even know they exist anymore. They're the last true explorers in the galaxy, and they're trying to find the answers to some of humanity's biggest questions.
The artifacts are so different, so alien, and I'm certain one of them reached out and spoke to you. The artifact, if you could place it on the table here.
Oh my god. Look at how it's coming together.
That means there's a set built by an intelligence outside the settled systems.
It's definitely an eclectic cast of characters. You've got Sarah Morgan, the ex-soldier and adventurer, now Constellation's leader. Mateo, the theologian who believes that there's definitely something else out there. Noel, the gifted scientist and Sarah Morgan's protege. And Walter, a very successful...
Run it back. I want to see something real quick. Look at the hair. Not enough games do black hair justice, I gotta be honest. And this is very appreciated. To any game developers who may come across this video at any time in the future, this is much appreciated.
Businessman in the settled systems and Constellation's financier.
Anything goes as long as you have the money.
There's also Vlad, the ex-pirate, Sam Coe, the former space cowboy, and Barrett.
You know what I hate about these pirates? Completely resistant to my otherwise irresistible charm.
The journey you take with Constellation is just the first of many you'll embark on. The Settled Systems is home to all kinds of different stories, people, and adventures for you to uncover.
What is that? Let's go. I'm excited
The
for this
United
game.
Colonies
I play.
is where you'll find New Atlantis, the first major human settlement in space. The people who live here value law, discipline, and the legacy of humanity. They consider themselves the true children of Earth.
You ever think of joining up with the Vanguard? Help the United Colonies, even get your UC citizenship?
New Atlantis isn't the only city within the United Colonies. The city of Sidonia on Mars to this day serves as the largest mining facility for the United Colonies. Beyond the United Colonies' reach, you might find yourself in a much more wild and independent coalition of star systems. This is Freestar Collective Space. The capital of the Freestar Collective
the detail.
is Aquila City.
I love the attention to
Stone
detail.
Root Inn is an Aquila City fixture.
A ranger relies on judgment and intuition to do what's best for the people.
Neon started out as a fishing platform, but is now known throughout the settled systems as a pleasure city where almost anything goes.
If you've got morality issues, this definitely isn't the job for you.
Ryujin is hiring the best and brightest of today for our future tomorrow.
Nah, this is gonna be
Everyone has
major.
been chewed up and ground up by Neon.
This is
Try
gonna
not
be
to get yourself
major.
killed, all right?
For sure. Mark my words.
Outside the bounds of civilized space, there are still plenty of unclaimed systems to explore, but these areas are also home to the most hostile factions in the galaxy.
The great serpent hungers. All heathens shall be made dust in time.
A new
face? Is this the face of a brave runner here to challenge the Red Mile?
They think the galaxy is theirs. They are wrong. It belongs to the Crimson Fleet. It always has.
In Starfield, we're pushing our cities and settlements further than we ever have before. It's all there, waiting for you. A slice of humanity's future.
Look at the scope of everything. Like, this is
So,
crazy.
Ready to get out there?
That's wild.
Throughout the galaxy, there are so many things to see and stories
Like, has
to
anything
experience.
else like this been created yet outside
But
of
the most
No
important
Man's
story
Sky?
is the one that you tell.
But I mean, No
I'm the
Man's Sky
type of
was
person who
cool,
spends
but
hours in character creation. And I
it
think
didn't
people are
feel
gonna be
completely
really excited
flushed
when they
out.
see
I
all
mean,
of
you
the
know, yeah, it
improvements we've
had
made.
a quintillion
One of the
plus
biggest
planets,
overhauls was
but I
done
mean, on
through
most of
our
them,
character
there wasn't
generation
really a whole
system.
lot
We
going
scanned a
on.
wide range of faces from different age groups and ethnicities, and by mixing and matching out that data, we were able to create highly detailed and diverse characters.
We use that exact system to create all of the characters and NPCs you're going to see in the game. So any character
You
you,
can
see
tell.
almost
You can
always is a
tell.
character you could make yourself.
Hey, come on, come on. Okay, take it easy. You were out cold. No physical damage. Mentally, the jury's still out. You know who you are? New recruit for Argos Extractors? Ring any bells? Any of this look familiar?
You start your character creation journey as though you're cycling through employee records. You'll pick from a lineup of 40 presets, and that'll be your starting point. Your journey from there can be as detailed or as quick as you want it to be.
Absolutely.
This new system has more to offer than ever before.
That's fire. Come on now.
It's also
Like,
the
anybody
simplest
hating on
character
this game,
generation system
you
we've ever had.
honestly
we let
did
the
not.
player get as close as possible to make whatever they want, with the various facial morphs you can blend together, the dermesthetic and makeup.
I don't understand how some people like are really hating on this game. Like, look at the amount of detail that they've placed in the game. Like, that's amazing. The sheer size and scope of this, with this added detail, with stories, with random events, like, it's crazy. I'm excited for
Blemishes,
it.
scars, piercings, teeth settings. It's a lot, but I think it's the most fun to use.
Character creation is more than just how you look. This is also where you start to decide who you want to be. That's where backgrounds come in. Backgrounds give you a bit of backstory and start you out with 3 basic skills.
From chef to dusty. You know, the crew still has a betting pool about which restaurant critic you must have crossed to wind up here.
What's great about backgrounds is you never know when yours is going to come in handy. You could be in the middle of a fancy restaurant talking to some guy, and suddenly you learn he needs a beast hunter to help track down a monster.
Fine. I probably should stick to professionals anyway, given what happened the last time.
We're also giving you the option to customize your build even further by letting you pick up to 3 traits. Traits are completely optional, and they come with their own advantages and disadvantages. You could choose to meet your biggest
I
fan.
like that.
Vectera, by Vectera, by Vectera! Is it really, really you?
He'll join your crew, and he'll give you gifts if you're willing to put up with his constant commentary.
I can't believe I get to stand near you, breathing the same air.
That's crazy.
I've got to have every molecule.
My favorite
a
trait
little
is kid
weird,
stuff.
huh?
You have to pay some credits to support your parents, but they're very sweet, and it's really fun to go visit
Yo, we
them.
get to have parents too. What?
Oh my god!
I came across some hostile zealots in space, but because I had chosen a trait that made
That's
me the same
different.
religion as them, I was able to get by without any issues.
There's another great one that gives you a damage buff when your health is low.
You see, it's mechanics like that that fully immerse you into a video game. You know, these are the things that make great video games. You know, I understand why a lot of people are calling this a potential game of the year or game of the generation contender. You know what I'm saying? Now, the verdict is still out on whether or not that's going to be the case, but so far, everything that I'm seeing, and I love space stuff. Now, if you're not really a space person, you know, I get that. That just may not be your thing. But if you're someone who loves space and, you know, you're someone who loves Bethesda titles, I think that this is going to be a potential game of the generation for you and, you know, people like us. But, hey, only time can tell.
but mercenaries will randomly show up and try to kill you. No matter what you choose, there will be plenty of ways for you to tell your story. And if you want to remove a trait, there are ways to do that too.
What a view! It's a feast for the eyes. Off we go to another adventure.
Look at that.
I'll
No!
let you discover that on your own.
That's crazy. Okay, Starfield.
Once you've built the perfect character,
Starfield.
that's when your journey can really begin. We took what we loved about skills and perks from our previous games and put them together to create an all-new skill system. Each time you level up, you get a
The
skill
shooting
point,
looks a lot tighter
which can
than
be
it
used
did
to
last
unlock
year.
or
for
rank
sure.
up skills. Ranks are unlocked by completing challenges associated with that skill.
Lock picking, right.
Challenges become increasingly difficult as you work your way to higher ranks. With our 5 different skill trees and 4 ranks per skill, there's a lot to choose
That's
from.
decent. That's decent. I like that.
I like the xenosociology skill because it lets you mind control aliens.
Boost pack out of the gate. I'm boost packing everywhere.
Most definitely. I love the jetpacks. It's smooth.
I like maxing
Real
out
smooth.
my physical tree so I can get neuro strikes and just punch my way through combat. That one's a lot of fun.
That's dope.
Invest in the skills that suit your playstyle.
I'm very much a stealth player. So, I'm out there pickpocketing everyone. My favorite part about being stealthy is slowly creeping through vents like you're in a movie and then jumping out and springing on people.
Whenever possible, I like to talk my way through situations.
This area's off limits. Fine, I'll issue you an access card.
I'm more of a run and gun player. I like doing the death from above thing where I boost pack over guys and I throw landmines at them. I like blowing stuff up.
It's a lot of different weapons I see so far too. Sniping. Okay. Shooting looks a million times better. Shooting look way better than it did last year. You see what just a few extra months can do for you developers. If it's not ready yet, do not release the game. It's not even a question. No debate.
With new life, resources.
Give it time in the oven
adventures.
and you can get product like this. So dope.
Our team worked hard to strike a balance between fun and realism. We studied data from NASA and a multitude of other sources to help us make the world feel believable. From the way we approached planetary atmospheres to the way we placed biomes based on the planet's distance from the sun.
Yeah, apparently they did a lot of work with NASA and other space agencies to create this game to make sure everything was realistic as possible and you know, just to make sure it was as close to an enjoyable but realistic experience as they could get. And I think that's a lot of dedication for a video game for sure. That's dope.
Once we had created a grounded world, we could start looking at all the things that make that world fun. When you leave a planet and head into space, you'll be navigating asteroid fields, having chance meetings with interesting strangers, dogfighting in space, and exploring derelict ships. It's all out there. Ultimately, it's about rewarding your curiosity, because whether it's on the surface of a planet, the alleys of a city, or the vastness of space, you never know what you'll find.
Love the
Space
customization.
exploration is possible thanks to your
Fire.
ship. Your ship is almost like having another character
or home you can make all your own. I think you'll be blown away by the amount of stuff you can do. You can buy a ship.
I'm sure you can find something you like.
Customize and upgrade that ship. And hire a crew to keep it up and running.
So fire.
And it all starts in spaceports. Every spaceport has a ship technician where you can purchase, sell, and modify ships.
Anything I can help you with?
Maybe you start off with a speedy fighter that's perfect for bounty hunting. Then you might round out your ship roster with a hulking space freighter to run cargo missions, or even do a little smuggling. For now, though, we're going to take our starting ship, the Frontier, and make some changes. You can customize and upgrade everything you see here. And you have two ways to do that.
I like that.
You can quickly upgrade individual systems like your weapons or shields, or you can deep dive and enter the shipbuilder mode. Here you can change anything, from the systems to the look and layout.
Wow.
Adding a new habitat module can give you more room for crew. Adding cowling can change your ship's overall silhouette. An improved grav drive allows for longer distance space jumps. You can even fully customize your paint job to get the exact look you want. The parts you choose to build with don't just affect your ship's stats. They'll also affect what you can do inside your ship. You can have modules for crafting, or for storing and displaying your weapons. Starfield's in-game ship manufacturers bring their own look and feel to every piece of your ship. From living quarters to cargo holds, mess halls, and control rooms. Our modified Frontier is a practical ship, but with a little creativity, your ship can look like almost anything you want.
It's a bit odd, but one of my favorite ways of customizing ships is I make them look like animals. The HMS Platypus, as I called it, where it had a giant tail to it. And we've done spiders, we've done mechs. So it's really whatever your imagination is.
That's crazy.
And while you can build your home among the stars the way you want to, you're probably not the only person who will call your ship home.
Prepare for the flying. Oh God.
Ready to lift off when you are, Captain.
Engines ready.
The Frontier is fueled and ready, Captain.
Like, look at the detail. That's fine.
Some of the members of Constellation can join you on your journey. These companions can serve on your crew, and they'll always be there when you travel.
We'll be traveling together until we either find an artifact or this lead runs dry.
Each companion comes with their own valuable skills for your ships and outposts, as well as unique quest lines. Eventually, some friendships might blossom into romance.
I don't know that I've ever really loved anyone except you.
And if you're looking for a little extra help on your ship, you can always hire additional crew at spaceports.
Got any room on your ship for someone like me?
You'll also meet potential crew members out in the world.
Still think there might be a spot for me on your ship? I gotta get off this rock.
Assign crew to your ship or outposts, and their unique skills will affect how they run.
I can't wait to get my hands on this game.
And just like companions, most crew members can lend a hand in the field.
Detail.
Take Bosco, for instance.
Like, yeah, No Man's Sky did a lot of this, but
basics of a NASA machine.
a lot of the planets kind of look the same, and most of them really didn't have nothing going on.
I still wanted to give it almost a humanoid personality.
I've been wanting a fully fleshed out, fully realized version of No Man's Sky for so long. And it looks like we're finally getting it. That's super dope.
Bloodshed.
I like that.
Using the shipbuilding tools and crew selection features in Starfield, you'll be able to build and captain the ship of your dreams. And now, let's take to the sky.
We're putting you in the cockpit of your very own spaceship and telling you that you can do pretty much anything.
and that is really cool for us as developers. Spaceflight should be exciting and dangerous, and you should feel like you're in complete control every step of the way. We've extended that sense of control to ship combat. It's not about just hitting your triggers to fire your weapons. It's a complex dance between your piloting skills and our power allocation system.
Okay.
Boosting power to your engines will make your ship faster. Powering up the grav drives will shorten the amount of time it takes before you can make a jump. And moving your power to your weapons and shields means you're ready for a fight. You should always be on your toes because you're not alone out there. Unlocking the targeting control systems.
I like that the different types of ships that you build can either hurt you or help you depending on the situation that you find yourself in. I think that's pretty cool. It adds more of a dynamic to the gameplay, you know what I mean? That's pretty dope. I like that.
Skill will allow you to zero in on specific subsystems of the ship you target. After destroying an enemy ship, you can loot the remains from your cockpit. You can always turn any ship that engages you into scrap. But you can also take a more personal approach by docking with the enemy vessel and boarding their ship.
Look at the improved gunplay. I see you, Bethesda. I see you.
Once you've taken control of an enemy ship, it's yours. Add it to your fleet and retrieve it at any spaceport.
Oh, wow, okay.
But space is way more than fighting for your life. Just like when you're planetside, there are plenty of sights to see and stops to make on the way to your next adventure. Like these massive star yards.
Look at that.
Walk the halls, talk to the crew, maybe get talked into buying a whole new ship.
A civilian in my star yard. Let's see about getting you a proper ship, one worthy of you.
Maybe you'll dock with a gigantic battleship, like the UC Vigilance. Or rub elbows with the galaxy's wealthy elite on a cruise ship fit for the stars.
Dude, we finally have a realistic
There
No
are plenty of
Man's
personal
Sky.
encounters
Like,
to be had
finally.
as well. You can hail any ship you come across to trade, swap info, or maybe even commit an act of piracy.
Let's do this.
When I'm playing, I generally go crazy. I definitely go like the more piracy routes. I want to take over ships. I'm going to board ships. I'm like, this is now mine. I steal all these sandwiches and put them, in my cargo hold that I have specifically for sandwiches. I don't want to play the hero, but I want to go out and just start taking things from people as quickly as possible.
We on this day
Some
one,
strangers
best
might be looking
believe.
for a little human connection in the darkness of space.
Hello, stranger. I just finished cooking up some food. If you want to come on over, just pop on by.
Imagine
Some
if
of
this
the
was
best moments are
multiplayer.
the
That's like the
ones
only
you
thing that is
discover on
missing.
your
But it's
own.
cool though. I mean, we don't really need it, but imagine
The
if
thing
it
I love
was
most about
multiplayer
Starfield
though.
is that it is a Bethesda game through and through. It's really about going to strange new places, meeting interesting people, and getting sidetracked on zany adventures. Then realizing 2 hours later that you're involved in a completely new story.
That part right there. Realizing 2 hours later that you are in a completely different story, thanks to the side quests and how immersive they are, and the size of the world, and how you can just randomly find yourself on a completely different story, look up 2 hours later and be completely dumbfounded. Like, that's why people love Bethesda games. And I think that the Bethesda formula with the No Man's Sky type of tech and a fully realized environment and world that with like realistic terrains and graphics and just the details, I think that that's a great combination for a potential game of the year. No cap. Like, I can't wait to play it. It's gonna be dope.
You're human. We thought we were the only ones to leave Earth.
That DNA is so present here. It's in our random encounters, it's in our handcrafted quests, and it feels so cool to play it and just make your own path in this universe. There are over 1,000 planets out there, just waiting for you to visit.
1,000 planets. That's crazy.
We want you to feel like explorers, breaking ground on new planets, exploring every inch of a mostly untouched galaxy. We want you to feel hopeful. We want you to feel this sense of awe and wonder, and sometimes a little fear. We're giving you a massive playground and a ton of toys, and just setting you free.
But see, what I do want to know is, can we land anywhere on the planet that we want, or is it a cutscene that brings you to the same spot every time, and then you have to travel? Or can I fly to the opposite side of that planet first? I wonder. Like, you would have to, right? I don't know.
In every one of our games, we always put so much care into all those little details that breathe life into our worlds.
Right.
But Starfield isn't just a Bethesda Game Studios world, it's a Bethesda Game Studios galaxy. So why go this big with Starfield? Because we want to give you freedom on a galactic level. The freedom to experience both the exciting planets and the quiet ones. Scanning a planet before you land is a great way to get a sneak peek at the available resources you can use for crafting, building, and customizing.
Just like
I
No
think
Man's
what's
Sky.
cool about
like
this
that.
whole system that we generate the planet itself as a procedural content, but the handcrafted content itself comes as the player explore. Our system builds a planet as the player approaches it. We stitch together a block of terrain. After that, we have the...
And you know, I don't look at it as if they're copying No Man's Sky. I think that No Man's Sky had to crawl and walk so this game can run. You know what I mean? No Man's Sky means no Starfield. And I don't think that that's a negative thing at all. You know what I mean? If something's not broken, then don't fix it. No Man's Sky is figured out. Yeah, it was a bumpy road at the beginning, but they figured out a lot of stuff that I feel like saved Bethesda a lot of time with trying to figure out for themselves. So, you know, that's just my opinion. But hey, I'm not mad at it at all. This is what we should be playing as a Space Explorer game. It's dope.
System that adds interesting
dope.
locations for the player to explore, creatures to encounter, ore and plants to pick up. It allows us to add that touch of environmental storytelling that Bethesda is known for.
Aggressive creatures have been disrupting our experiments. Their habitat isn't far from here. If you could take care of them for us, we would be in your debt.
So even if your friend
that's how it
were to
starts.
visit the same planet that you had, you would have a different story to tell.
Mm-hmm. Way better gunplay. Look how much tighter that is. Look at that. Look at that. That's so much tighter. It's crazy. Way better than it was last year.
It's completely up to you how you want to interact with each planet. Whether you want to explore and see what you can find, harvest resources and be on your way, or simply take in the views.
Look at that open world.
With the help of your
That's fire.
scanner, you'll chart the uncharted and discover exotic wildlife.
If you have the skills, you can even figure out that certain creatures and plants, you can build an outpost and produce resources from those plants and animals. You can get experience and rewards for fully surveying planets and fully surveying a whole system.
When we were concepting these creatures, we really wanted to think of them as natural to the environment. We didn't want alien monsters, we wanted native wildlife. Something you've never seen before.
When it comes to our exteriors, when the sun moves, all that light is calculated in real time through the atmosphere. Our biggest goal for lighting with Starfield was to make the game feel more filmic, to use lighting and color to really make it feel more cinematic.
This game is gonna be major, mark my words. I see some hate online, but this game is gonna be major. I wonder what frame rate it's running at.
After some exploring, you can find a spot to set up a base camp. Outposts can be built almost anywhere on any planet. And the habitat modules come in all shapes and sizes, filling all different purposes. You can even live in them. Assign crew and companions to work at your outposts for added bonuses, and set up extractors to harvest resources while you're away.
Decent.
Something cool we have this time is we have a new fly cam, where you can toggle between on-foot building, or you can now use a top-down isometric camera, which helps plan out larger parts of the outpost and placing those larger halves. So that way you can really plan your structures and what the overall feel of your outpost is. And then when you're on your feet, you can really decorate and fine-tune things much easier.
Look at the detail. It's all in the details. It's all in the details. Always in the details. That's fire. Nah, this game is gonna be major, for sure.
Add crafting and research stations in your outposts to utilize any resources you find or already have.
How much have y'all packed
Mod your
in this
weapons to
game?
adapt them to your playstyle. Different weapon sights and scopes, larger magazines, a selection of grips and barrels,
Oh,
different
wow, look at
ammunition like explosive rounds. All you stealth players out there will surely need a suppressor. You can also choose to go hands-on with melee weapons.
Melee? I think this is the first time they showed melee in this
between
game.
like what's realistic,
That's
what's
dope.
sim, and what's Hollywood. And I think we sort of err on the side of like what's fun for the player.
With Starfield,
Okay.
we've completely overhauled our combat.
Yeah,
It's more
I can
dynamic,
tell.
the
I can
animations are more
tell.
fluid.
A billion times
just
better
feels
than when
great.
they first showed this. And I'm so happy
Probably
that
have
they
more
took that
mods and more
feedback and
weapons in this
improved
game.
the game.
I
This
wanna
is
say
what
any
should
other game
happen
we've
when
done
you push a
before.
game back. It shouldn't release
variety.
in a terrible, in the same shitty condition that it was when you
Upgraded gear
first
is just one of
showed
the
it. You
many
push it
factors
back
pay
to make
attention
it
to when
better.
engaging in combat.
common
You may
sense.
need to switch things up based on your environment.
Look at the
Gravity is
sniping.
different
So
for each
much
planet,
cleaner.
and boost packs are excellent for getting around. And for giving you an edge in combat.
Getting Destiny vibes.
Sometimes
I
you'll
like
even
it.
feel like you're flying.
I like it.
Zero gravity environments pose a different challenge. Firing a ballistic weapon in zero G will actually push you backwards. Energy weapons, on the other hand, offer a more stable shooting experience.
We also have mag weapons. These are high-powered electromagnetic induction ballistic arrays.
Oh,
Each
wow.
barrel has its own targeting laser and can dish out some serious damage.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Whether you want to get up close and personal with your own two fists, or you like more compact weapons like pistols and submachine guns, or maybe you prefer something bigger.
Yep, that's me right there.
Starfield's got you covered.
A lot of different weapons. I didn't expect that. I don't think there's a huge weapon variety in No Man's Sky. It's pretty cool. This is what I mean by a full fleshed out No Man's Sky. This is dope. This is no slight to any developer. I can see it now. I'm gonna put hundreds of hours into this game. Easily. Easily 300 hours. Easy 300. Easy 300. Combat is looking nice. It's looking nice. A lot of people didn't like the combat when they first showed it. It's looking good. What was that though?
Thanks again for being with us today.
Is there-
we are just so grateful
is there magic
that you've
in the
taken
game?
the time
Hold on, let's run
and
that
spent
back.
it
What
here.
was that?
I know there was probably a lot.
Right at the end. Let's run that right back. How far back was that? What was that? Whoa. Oh yeah. This is it. This is it.
To take in. There's a lot to the game, even more than we could show here. You know, as we play it, we're always sharing these unique and special moments.
I think
that only a
Starfield
game
has
like this
magic
can
or
bring.
something like that.
When
I've
I
seen it.
think
Like,
about
y'all
what
seen
makes
it.
it
We
special,
seen it.
it really
He did
is the
something
people
at the
here.
end that was like magic.
This game is a
related. I
reflection
like
of the incredible and passionate team
I'm
that
curious
made it.
now. They
All of
definitely
them
piqued my
putting
curiosity.
something special of themselves into it. So let's hear some of their favorite moments.
I love the way.
Alright y'all, that was the Bethesda Direct, man. I hope y'all enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like and subscribe button for your boy. Let me know how y'all feel down in the comments below. Do you believe that Starfield is a flop in the making, or do you think that this could potentially be Game of the Year or Game of the Generation? This is probably one of the biggest games created thus far. I know that they've been wanting to make this game for a long time, but the technology just wasn't there yet. So I can definitely see myself putting easily 250 plus hours into this. Like, that's like, I am a fan of Bethesda games somewhat. You know, I do like the Elder Scrolls series. I've never really been super big into Fallout, but man, this game looks amazing. I can't even lie. I'm sure there's a whole lot more in the game that they couldn't show, because if you notice right at the end, he definitely did some little magic tricks. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe button for your boy. We'll be uploading more Starfield news in the future. And this is a day one grab from me, man. But until next time, man, peace.